So Pisces, my friends, I love these cards that you're pulling here. These are perfect. This week, Pisces, from Le Vampire, you pulled faith, trust, unwavering, and confidence. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled perception. And now I got it immediately, and the feeling around it, I'm telling you, is perfect. It's perfect. Now, faith, from Le Vampire, the blessing says your faith returns and you feel a true connection and comfort in your choices and plans. They are supported by the energy of the universe, which is fantastic. Working with this card says, if you have lost faith in a person, project, or humanity itself, it is time to examine the source of the faith. Know that it can be revived, and this time you may choose where you place this most beautiful and tender of faiths. And I think faith is returning to you because you are changing your perspective. Perception very much reminds me of the Hangman. The inspiration with this card says, often our journey brings us full circle, leaving us to wonder why things happened. This card teaches us to follow through on whatever is before us. Going back is not an option. The personal question says, what in my life needs tending? How good will I allow myself to feel? The key ideas are transformation in the heart, change in perception, the unknown, and the promise of a richer experience, which is what stuck out to me the most. When you start having faith in yourself, in the things that you are planning for yourself, whatever it is, when that faith starts to return, your perspective on it is going to change. And a lot of you, your perspective has already changed, and that is why faith is being restored to you. Either way, the promise of a better experience here is, what is most important to me. All right, Pisces, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. The Four of Pentacles. Jeez. Now, immediately for me, whenever I see this card, the first thing I think of is, what are you hanging on to? Why? What are you hanging on to? What is so goddamn important that you can't let it go? But then the other part of it too is, if you have a lot of good things going on, I wouldn't want to share that shit either. So it just depends. We'll have to see what's happening here. And in the past, the Queen of Swords, what's funny is that a lot of times I see that as your energy. If in the past you've lost faith in something, or even someone for that matter, this could represent the energy surrounding you or the person. Now, the Queen of Swords, air sign, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And it could be that, a lot of you may be hanging on to a certain feeling. The Queen of Swords, though, for me, she is the single divorced woman, is what she's looked at as, because her partner is emotionally unavailable. This is also somebody that's dealt with, a lot of pain in the past. And as far as like a person goes, again, being a general reading, this can be male or female. But what sticks out to me is the personality. There's a part of this person that is open, but at the same time, they will kick your ass, right? Because their past experiences have tainted the way that they deal with it in future conditions. And again, this could be, what's surrounding you, and maybe that's something you need to let go of, or you're hanging on to a person. Oh, I'm telling you, when you have good things, I wouldn't want to share that shit either. And it makes sense, right? The Queen of Swords, there's still that openness, but at the same time, it's like, wait a minute, you stay right the fuck over there, because you're not going to interrupt this. What I have going on here is really good. Seeing the Nine of Cups is good. It's good. Emotionally, it's perfect for you guys. There's happiness, and you're not wanting to let go of it or share it, and I wouldn't either. Damn it. Oh, future conditions. So, when you're talking about people, right? This could definitely have to do with somebody that you may be attaching yourself to, because they bring you a lot of happiness. And when you're looking at the Six of Wands, right, it is victory. It's victory over adversity. And absolutely, with the energy of the Queen of Swords, it's perfect to see. And of course, there's a reason to be happy about that. Hell yeah. But then the other thing with this card too, is the recognition that's involved, right? Being recognized, being applauded for a job well done. And you got to forgive me, guys. My voice is like failing me. I'm going to have to take a drink of my spiked coffee here. But I do get the feeling that for some of you, this may be a person that is recognizing you. It's not just that you are recognizing somebody else who, may have a lot of people with eyes on them for sure. But, I get the feeling here that it's you. This is, you're happy because this person recognized you, And there it is. I knew I seen it. So your best path to follow, the Nine of Wands. And this is persistence. To me, it's persistence. It is the wounded warrior. This is somebody who's been through a lot. But they're ready to continue fighting. They've got one more fight left in them. That's where the persistence comes from and the strength, right? My worry has always been when this card shows up is, are you seeing opportunities? But I think it's already there. It's already clear for you. It's just saying that, if you've been through struggles in the past, because I'm telling you, it goes both ways. It's like your energy, but then also a person. But looking at the Nine of Wands is saying persistence. Continue. You have to continue here because what you're doing is right, first of all. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting this recognition. But then the other thing, too, is, I for the first time in a long time, I feel like the Four of Pentacles is a good thing. Usually when this shows up, it's an indicator that, you may be hanging on to something a little bit too tightly. But especially with faith and perception coming through, right? Seeing it in a different perspective. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm doing right now. But it's like, getting a hold of that faith, right? And seeing your past situations differently here, and holding on to the ability to continue to, go after what is making you happy, and whatever it is that you're doing, again, there's recognition here. Oh, shit. The Six of Cups in your environment, and then you have the Nine of Cups, and then when you look at your past, there's the Queen of Swords. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. For some of you, this could definitely have to do with somebody from the past coming through. But then the other part of this too, when you're looking at it connected to, your present conditions, for a lot of you, it's like recreating the best of the past in, the present moment. I've always said with this cup, you have to be careful, or this card, you have to be careful about the way that you look at the past. If you're going into nostalgia, you have to be careful about what you're pulling into the present moment. Those feelings and those thoughts are what is going to create tomorrow. But what you're looking at is happiness. And it's good. It's good. Now, for somebody, again, it may be somebody from the past coming through that's bringing a lot of happiness with them. And it's like you're happy that they're recognizing you again. Whoa, why? What are you afraid of? I had a feeling. A damn Four of Pentacles, I mean, both of the energies are like teetering for me. I feel like I'm talking to one group, and then there's the other one, right? There are those of you who are dealing with a person, and those of you who are dealing with just, the general energies that are happening here. Where, a lot of you are hanging on to the idea that, there's a lot of happiness in the past and like bringing it forth into the present moment, right? And having that victory over adversity. But on the other hand, there's the person, right? And you're looking at a person from the past that's bringing happiness. There's the feeling of recognition. I can go on and on about this. But looking at the Eight of Swords, why? There's nothing to fear. You have to be careful about, when you have opportunities present themselves, especially when it comes to happiness, you cannot look at the past. You cannot look at the past in a bad way when you're bringing it back into the present moment. Here's the thing. If something from the past is coming through and it's bringing a lot of happiness, but maybe there was something negative attached to it as well, You have to be careful about where your fear is at because you don't want to stay stuck in this. And for some of you, if you have somebody from the past coming through, yeah, there's a lot of happiness involved with this, but what is it that you're fearing about it? You need to let go of the fear and you need to hold on to the happiness. I mean, but again, it's just a fear. When I see cards in that position, it gives me a clear idea of what has the potential to manifest based on how much focus you're going to put on that, rather than what you should be focusing on, which is the happiness. I'm so sorry, you guys. My voice is like shot. Oh, look at it, the Hierophant. Wow. The outcome is the Hierophant immediately, and again, looking at the Four of Wands, having a strong faith, having a strong spiritual understanding. And for some of you, this could definitely represent a person coming through that is giving you some spiritual guidance, right? The guru. It doesn't have to be, the traditional orthodox beliefs either, because to me, the Hierophant represents all beliefs. But again, there's like this really strong foundation in your belief and seeing things differently here. And I feel good. I feel grounded. I feel in tune, right? And that to me is getting the higher understanding of why you have dealt with the things that you have. And it's perfect. It's perfect. I mean, the energy here is great. Both ways, it's perfect. This is, to me, it's like so minor. It's so minor. I mean, for some of you, there may be a little bit of fear that you're hanging on to. If you've dealt with difficult things in the past, now it's time to let that go, because what you're looking at right now is really good. Really, really good. Emotionally, it looks fantastic. And the wands you're pulling are great too. If this has to do with a person, they are bringing a lot of spiritual happiness to you. Absolutely. Looking at the Hierophant and faith. And that is definitely something that you need to hang on to. Right? And having victory over adversity. And what's funny is that the Hierophant rules the fives. And that is adversity. It's all the horrible shit that we go through. Right? I've always said it's one of those things where you're like shaking your fist up at the sky going, what the fuck? Why am I going through this? And then here comes the Hierophant to give that understanding. I always hated the term of, you're being tested. I think that that's bullshit. I don't think that anything outside is trying to test you. I think that you do this to yourself. But, there's the beautiful opportunity there for you to come out with strength, right? I love it, Pisces. And I do feel that a lot of you are getting a really strong foundation in your faith right now. And you're hanging on to that. Hell yeah. And when it comes to, manifesting this happiness, I always loved, how it's been said before, where it's like, I know that it is on its way. Right? And I feel like that is where you guys are at right now. Oh, okay. Resistance. Stop doing that. Don't resist shit. Stop it. Birth. Now, this card is talking about an actual birth. So for some of you, if you are giving birth, congratulations. If you're having kids or, your family members are having a child, whatever. But when you look at birth and you look at possibilities, the birth of new possibilities for you, but it's like, why are you resisting it? Stop it. Don't do that. That's naughty. Don't resist any changes, because you're looking at, the birth. It's a little bit different than rebirth, but it is the birth of something brand new, and the possibilities for you are endless. There are no restrictions there, except for what you put on yourself. Stop it. Stop doing that. All right, Pisces, we're going to look at Whispers of Love to see what is going on for you guys in terms of love. Anytime I see that card, I always get that feeling of, I know what that energy is like, because I've done that to myself, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So immediately the mom kicks in, like, stop being naughty. Don't do that. It's not good for you. Don't resist the good things. There's no reason to do that. The birth of new possibilities. That's amazing. It is amazing. But I do have to go with, the card because it is talking about an actual birth, new life. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful message, especially if you are in a relationship right now, and having faith that, for those of you who are in a relationship and like you're wanting to have children, I kind of get that feeling too. You need to have faith that that is possible for you, right? Possibilities. But love is so important. It's so important, especially when you're dealing with difficulties. It's a lot easier said than done. But I don't see anything like major that you're facing. But I do, again, faith. I mean, it's like continuous here. Have faith and stop resisting stuff. Don't do that. That's naughty. All right, Pisces. So I do think that a lot of you guys have a very strong, strong faith right now. And it's because you're seeing things differently, especially with the Hierophant coming out. And I do feel like you're getting victory over whatever adversity you may have faced. Because this teeters for me. I still see this as your energy coming through. But then for some of you, I do see this as a person from the past coming through that may be bringing a lot of happiness. A lot of happiness with them. And this could be somebody that's helping you ground yourself in your faith. Now, I love that the Nine of Wands is here because it is telling you that you still have some fight left in you. You need to hang on to the happiness, but you need to let go of the fear. There's no reason to fear anything. And then the other thing that you need to let go of is this resistance. Stop that. Stop doing that. That's no good. Don't do that to yourself. This is one of those cards where when I see it show up and you have, these really good things going on, it's like, why? Why are you resisting that? Don't do that to yourself. Birth and possibilities. It's very possible that for some of you, because I don't think I've ever seen this one pull, that you may be dealing with a birth. Whether you're giving birth, a friend is giving birth, or, your children are giving birth and you're having grandbabies, whatever the case is, birth for me means both. It is the birth of something new. It is the birth of life, right? New life. And the possibilities there are endless. Now, when it comes to the only thing that is real is love and have faith, for those of you who are in a relationship and you're wanting to have children, absolutely there's that possibility. And again, having faith. Faith seems to be consistent here. But, the only thing that is real is love is such a beautiful message because it's so important. When you take your focus away from the fear and you start putting it on that, what it creates is this happiness. And I think it's perfect. And I do think that you're going to have this beautiful grounded feeling here. And again, there's like this really strong faith foundation for you. I think everything's going to be all right, but stop resisting stuff. Don't do that. That's naughty. But I do love seeing these. I love that these are the ones that kick this off because immediately I got it. Just as soon as I seen these two, I'm like, oh, it's perfect. Having your faith restored, seeing things differently. It's very much like the Hangman to me, but there is a promise. There is a promise there of a new experience.